The Sensex is down almost 300 points straight off the back. The Nifty is down 100 points, so not looking good at all at the start. As we were telling you, it is cumulative factors of negative global cues, risk aversion across global markets. Crude prices have been surging. Gold has been moving up as well. All of that put together has caused down markets to fall about 100 points. What's leading from the front on the downside is HUL, down about 1.5%, the biggest Nifty loser, followed by ITC, which is down about 1%. So both FMCG names are down in trade, about 1 to 1.5% post their numbers. HCL Tech is the other one that's down 1.5%, and other heavyweights include L&T. There's Coal India. Coal India, of course, coming in for profit taking. It's been one of the strongest stocks in the last couple of months. Eicher Motors, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Tata Motors are all in the red right now. So let's look at the gaining stocks then. UltraTech Cement, there was a brokerage upgrade over there. So UltraTech Cement is bucking the trend today. And that's it. Maybe LTI, Mindtree, Adani Enterprises a tad bit in the green. Tata Motors, they're going to be acquiring 27% stake in Freight Tiger. So that's also been in focus. Jindal Stainless is the one in the broader markets that is up 5%. Clearly one of the stocks of the moment post that numbers, the Q2 numbers that came through. So look at that 5% rally there. But otherwise, the market is it's not too great. The only good part is the first tick on the index was a cut of around 100 odd points. Now it is about 87 points. So we've restricted the fall to less than about 100 points, but clearly not a good start.
Well, HDFC Bank, that's going to be the mover today. Yesterday as well, it almost tested that 1500 odd mark and then it bounced, and that's got a large weightage. Today as well, it almost went to around 1500. If it wants to get to say around 1530 odd, that'll be a percent higher from here on, which will help the Nifty. So let's see how that goes. Jindal Stainless, as Sonia mentioned, well, those numbers, they look pretty okay. And also, the stock had corrected 15% ahead of its numbers. We'll be joined by the management at 10:45 a.m. today, exclusively to CNBC TV 18, so don't miss that conversation. A few more stocks are on focus today. United Breweries, well, it seems people drank enough beer, actually. Stock is up close to around 3% as we speak. And maybe Q3 will be much better because you have the festivities. You also have the World Cup that's underway. So that's one stock that's reacted positively. On the flip side, IGL, we gave you a bullish and bearish outlook with regard to brokerages. Well, for the time being, the bears are on top because the stock is down 4.5%. Tata Communications, growth a little bit tepid, margins as well a little bit lower. That stock as well is down close to around 2%. And Dabur is under some pressure as well, down close to around 1.5%. Voltas delivering very, very good growth on the top line. Unfortunately, it's not resulting in better margins, and that's why that stock is under some pressure. Sagar Cement was the other stock that in pre-open was a little bit higher. They're showing some bit of improvement on a sequential basis, so the street likes that, and the commentary as well was fairly good. Sagar Cement, but it's flattened out, up only around 1% thereabouts.
Nigel, so the market is starting on expected lines, lower but down, not out. I mean, that's always been the case with the market here for so long. In the most challenging global kind of environment, we're now used to the market falling lesser. I mean, it'll fall, but it'll fall a lot lesser, just like what we saw yesterday. So the Nifty is at about 19,552. The low yesterday was 19,512. Broadly, 19,500. I mean, if you're able to hold on to that by close, I think that'll be fantastic. And I think on the Nifty Bank as well, the August lows, which is 43,600. Right, it broke yesterday, but we closed 150 points on top of it. So 43,600 by 330, I think I'd take it. Let's just take a quick look at some of the stocks. Shakti Pumps, if you can have that up. It's coming up as the number 2 volume traded gainer. So it was up 20%, and it's up another 7.5% right now. What a move up this year. And almost 1,200 rupees now on Shakti Pumps. There is UBL, which is United Breweries, the beer company, 3% higher, 1,600 plus on that one. There is Ircon, which is up about 1.5%. Atul Auto is starting about 2% in the green. The stock's at about 671 or so. Sonata Software is up about 4%, 1145 on Sonata Software. There is Equitas Bank, which is up about 2%, 100 rupees there. What else? Aban Offshore and a few others there. But, you got the volumes, if you go down the list, which are not all that great. So I think we'll give it some more time. IGL is down 5%. Sonal was highlighting that earlier, just a while back. Bajaj Finance is down about 1%. There is Jai Corp, which is coming up with a 3% cut, just highlighting things with volumes. And Tata Communications, you heard from the management, is down about 2% as well. There is Dabur, which is, by the way, down another 1.5%. Was down weak yesterday as well. 518 on Dabur for now. Chennai Petro is down 2.5%. Stocks at about 584. Nucleus Software is down 2%. By the way, market breadth is 2:1 still in favor of advances. So keep that in mind. Nifty cutting more of its losses. So we are down just 65 points now, 19,559 on the index. So this is just the first 5-7 minutes of trade. But already, I mean, as you're kind of seeing which way the thrust is. The thrust is basically picking up from the lows on a slightly upward kind of trajectory. Nigel?
Just one more stock, MMTC. We've been warning retail audience out there,
10%.
be careful of the low float.
Yeah.
Every time it sees a bit of a bounce, you're seeing that the stock comes in for selling.
Yeah.
And now that's down another 10% and pending sell orders as well. So be very, very careful. Enjoy the markets, buy good quality names, but also keep an eye out on some of these stocks which have low float. We're not talking about the fundamentals about it, but you should be tracking that and keep in mind some of these low float stocks, they can move up. A few sessions ago it was 85 rupees. Now it's down to 64 rupees. And you can't get an exit. The door's closed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Point well taken. And these are not just low floats, these are very low floats.
Yeah.
There are great companies with low floats, but these are like minuscule, right? I mean, hardly any shares traded. So it's kind of very easy to manipulate these stocks on the upward trajectory as well. I mean, all kinds of things, circular trading, etc. We're not saying that, well, that is at work, but the fact is these are more susceptible as compared to widely held stocks to be able to sort of do all of that. So MMTC, STC, ITDC, and a bunch more, I mean, which have basically seen sharp run-ups, all climbing down very sharply.